This is how you turn your wheels from this to this. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Carson here, back with a brand new video. And in today's exciting video, we are talking about how to clean your wheels, how to protect your wheels, and how to dress your tires. So let's get into it. Alrighty, and you see all these chemicals behind me, and we'll go over those in just a second. What we need to talk about first is the correct tools to set you up for success. All the links to these products will be found in the description box below, so check those out if you're interested in anything I talk about here. Now, we're gonna talk about a few different ways on how to clean your wheels. Everybody cleans their wheels a little bit differently, but this is my process and what I like to do. In my process, we start off with a bucket. Now, we're starting off with just a generic bucket. This is a 5-gallon bucket with a grit guard down below. This does feature the Rag Company sticker on there just to indicate that this is for the wheels and tires. Now I've got a ton of Detail Factory brushes here. I'm gonna quickly explain what each one is and how to use them. So starting off first, we have the wheel face brush. Now this is for more of your harder surfaces, your stock wheels and tires. I wouldn't necessarily use this on delicate surfaces, but this will get the job done. Next, we have two Detail Factory brushes here that are meant specifically for the tires. These are for your bigger tires here, and these are for your more lower profile tires. Of course, you can still use the smaller one on bigger tires and vice versa. Choosing the right one for the job helps with optimization. Following that, we have two brushes here. These are the two mini brushes by Detail Factory. The first one is the boar's hair brush. Now this one is very stiff. This is meant to scrub really hard and get into those fine nooks and crannies. Next up, we have the Detail Factory synthetic tri-grip brush. Now this is more of like a makeup brush material, very, very soft. This is meant for your delicate surfaces. You can use it on the wheels, you can use it on the paint. This is great for lug nuts and in those areas. And finally, to round it out, I've got the mini barrel brush by Detail Factory. Detail Factory offers two different sizes. I like the mini one because it gets in there a little bit easier and it's better for my wheel and tire setup. They do have a bigger one if you have really, really deep barrels, and this one won't suffice. Now, this one does have some staining from axle grease that I got on there, so if you got axle grease, make sure to clean that up first before you clean the wheels. Next, we've got the Detail Factory Curveball XL. This is great for those delicate surfaces or those bigger areas that you need to cover on the wheels and tires. Now, this is great. Again, it's made from the same brush material as the tri-grip brush is, so it's very, very soft and supple. Now, you can use this anywhere, again, on the paintwork or on the wheel faces. And finally, to round it out, we have the Rag Company Wheel Mitt. This is a microfiber wash mitt here that's just a little bit smaller, of course, than their standard wash mitts. Now, this can get into the nooks and crannies quite a bit easier, and it does have perforations in there for your hands to fit perfectly. This is my choice of using when I'm cleaning wheels. Now, those are all the tools that I use when I do my wheels and tires. Now, you don't have to use everything, but at bare minimum, I would recommend a tire brush and some sort of microfiber or microfiber mitt to clean the wheel faces and barrels. Now, I've got 3 wheel and tire cleaners up here that are acid-free. We're not including acid for 2 reasons. The first one is acid is very intimidating, especially for a DIYer or an at-home enthusiast. Secondly, all these products can be found on Amazon and basically be shipped anywhere in the world. So they're a lot more accessible than wheel acid. To show you guys the different cleaning powers and what I would use for each wheel, we're gonna split the vehicle up into 4 sections. The first section is how I do my wheel and tire process and take you guys through a step-by-step process on what I do. The second one, we're gonna be using the first wheel cleaner, P&S Brake Buster, just showing that. Third wheel, we are gonna be using Armor Detail Supply Wheel and Tire Cleaner. And the fourth wheel, we're gonna be topping it off with Koch Chemie AWH or Alkaline Wheel Cleaner. All 4 of these wheels are gonna receive the same amount of agitation. So this is gonna be a fair comparison. Now, the wheel and tire cleaners are in no specific order. I'm gonna show you guys how I use these and how I've kind of optimized them throughout the last couple months and years that I've been using these certain products. So first one I've got over here is P&S Brake Buster. Now, P&S Brake Buster was one of the first wheel and tire cleaners that I used when I started jumping into the pro side of detailing products. This is a very cost-effective wheel cleaner to use that will clean wheels and tires efficiently. Now, a lot of folks online will say, oh, it doesn't clean enough. well, you're not using it correctly. Now, how I use P&S Brake Buster is I use it as a maintenance wheel cleaner. So after a week or two, when you're just normally weekly washing your car, you can use it and you'll have no problems. And I will showcase that for you guys today. That is the way that I found the most success for it and the way that I will continue to use it. Now what I do is I put it in an older foam cannon and I use it straight. Now P&S Brake Buster is fairly cost effective, so I don't feel really bad about putting it in the foam cannon here. It has amazing lubricity as well as it cleans tires extremely well. Now jumping over here to the middle, we have my two favorite wheel and tire cleaners currently. This is Armor Detail Supply wheel cleaner and Armor Detail Supply tire cleaner. Now I can see where most people want a all-in-one product, but to get a deep, good clean, you're gonna have to have two products for the most part. I've had nothing but success out of these two wheel and tire cleaners, and I will showcase that for you guys today. Wheel cleaner is a gel-based formula, so it sticks a little bit better, as well as it does have a pleasant fragrance to be around. Tire cleaner is the same way. It smells like citrus, again, and does foam up pretty well. And finally, the Sledgehammer, Koch Chemie's alkaline wheel cleaner. Now, of course, this is the Sledgehammer as it's a pH of 14. This needs to be diluted, and this is more for the more experienced prosumer. This wheel cleaner is great, but with it being a higher alkalinity, you have to be very, very careful on when you use it. This is not safe on your aluminum or even your chrome, as it can make the chrome very, very cloudy. This does a great job on wheels and tires as well. And again, this is the Sledgehammer. Alrighty, so you just cleaned your wheels and now you need to protect them. Now, I've got three different options to show you how to protect your wheels properly. The first option is we've got Easy Beads, or known as Beads now by Armor Detail Supply. Beads is a touchless sealant, so you spray it on, pressure wash it off. This one will typically give you about 3 or 4 weeks of protection. What I use this for is every single time I wash, I give this 1 or 2 sprays just to top off on the wheel surface. So this increases the hydrophobics as well as boosts the ceramic coating that's on the wheels. Next up in this paint sealant bottle, we have Inspiration Defender by P&S. Now, Defender is a 6-month sealant, so it's a spray sealant that you apply. You can't apply this while it's wet. You'd have to dry the surface first and then go in and apply it with an FTW or any type of towel that you like. Now, this is gonna last up to 6 months or so on the surface. This one I do every couple months, again, just to top up on the protection. And finally, you've got the big dog here. This is G-Technic's C5 wheel coating. This personally is my favorite wheel coating. Now, this one lasts quite a while, a couple years or so. This is gonna be the more labor-intensive way. You're gonna have to take the wheels off, prep them entirely, and then go ahead and coat them. If you have the ability to ceramic coat your wheels before they even go on the car, that's what's preferred. If not, that's totally okay. If you're comfortable with taking off the wheels and tires, I would highly recommend doing a wheels off detail, cleaning up those wheels and tires, and ceramic coating them. Your wheels are protected, they're looking great, but now you've got to dress those tires. So I've got 3 different options to share with you for tire dressing. In my specific case, I like a matte, clean tire. I don't really like a super glossy tire. The first tire option I do have is Armor Detail Supply Tire Plus. I really like Tire Plus as it is a great hand-applied tire dressing. What I mean by that is I'm spraying some on my applicator and then applying it with an applicator on there. This lasts a couple washes or so and does a great job. Next, we've got Full Send. This is what I use on my Forester as it's got those more off-road meteor tires. This is great for fender wells, undercarriage, whatever it is. It has a nice creamsicle scent as well as it levels off as a matte finish. This is a self-leveling formula, so what you do is you spray it in there, spray it on the wheel and tire, spray it on the fender liner, on your trim, wherever you'd like it, and you walk away and leave it alone. If you do want to level it, you can go in and level it, but you don't really have to. This is my favorite sprayable tire dressing that's on the market. And finally, this is a very unique product to Armor Detail Supply. This is Armor Detail Supply Ghost. Now, I've seen a couple other brands do this, but this is what really intrigued me with Armor Detail Supply. This is a tire sealant. Bonds to the tire very well, and it keeps that shine for about 6 months. Cool thing about this is it's got a blue tracer. You deep clean the wheel and tire first, you go ahead and apply it with an applicator. It's got a blue tracer on it to show you where you've applied and not applied, and then you let it dry. If you like a matte tire, then you just leave it there. Or if you want a glossier tire, again, you can stack this. This seals in the performance and seals in that shine for up to 6 months. This stuff is no joke. And that is it for all the chemicals that we're gonna be using today. If you wanna pick up any of those, you can pick them up in the description box down below. You do not have to use every single one of these products. This is just what I found out and what I like to use. And this is all my opinion. If there's something else that you like more or that you use more, let me know in the comments down below. And now the fun part. Let's take you over to the wheels and tires and let's get those washed. I'm gonna go step by step on how to do this. Here we go. All right, and here is the car here. This is my STI, and you can see, man, look how nasty those wheels are. All right, so this first wheel is what's called dealer's choice. So I'm gonna be using all the tools that I would normally use on my wheels and tires just to showcase my method to my madness. Another life hack here is I've got a bottle of soap. This is just a pH neutral foam soap. I just go ahead and spritz a couple spritz here into my wheel bucket just to add a little bit of lubricity. And then what I'll go ahead and do is my bucket here, get it kind of mixed up. All right, so we got our tire cleaner by Armor Detail Supply. Now this is just hitting the rubber parts here. I typically like to hit it 2 times or so. Let it kind of eat. Second up, we got wheel cleaner by Armor Detail Supply. And this will go on my barrels here, the face, the brake caliper. And you can see immediately it's just changing that color. So I'm gonna let that eat for just a minute, and you can kind of see it's already changing a bunch of purpley ways here. Alrighty, and after it looks like a murder scene, I'm gonna go ahead and take my brake buster here in the foam cannon. Again, this is no dilution, straight in the foam cannon, and I'm gonna hit it. Now you can see all of the dirt and contamination is really just going through, and it looks like a murder scene here. That tells me that it is time to scrub, so I'm gonna take my Detail Factory. This is just the regular tire brush. I'm gonna hit the tires here. So light browning coming from the tires, but not too bad. It's kind of what I expected. Awesome. Next, I'm going to take my Detail Factory mini barrel brush and get into the barrels here. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on the barrels, as I know they don't need they don't need scrubbing. They just need a quick once over. I am dunking my barrel brush here periodically just to get all that contamination off. Kind of getting behind here, down in here. Perfect. My barrels are good. I'm gonna go ahead and take my Detail Factory synthetic tri-grip brush and kind of get to the brake caliper here. Kind of get the grooves here. This brake caliper is coated with a ceramic coating, so it makes it super easy to clean. I'm also going to get the center caps, the lug nuts here. And get some of the letters. Some of the problem areas, and then finally I'm going to go ahead and top it off with my wheel mint. Now this is going to get the lip of the wheel in here. Boom, boom, get in there, and now I'm going to hit these spokes and the wheel face. Perfect. Now, it's looking great. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with a quick rinse. All right, and then now I'm kind of double checking my work. So I know this vehicle, I know it's gonna drip down here and have a bunch of brake dust from inside the rotor, because that's just how the design of the rotor is. Now everything looks really good, everything's nice and clean, but what we're gonna do is hit it with kind of our insurance. This is alkaline wheel cleaner. I'm gonna hit the tires mainly, and then we're gonna hit the wheel one more time. Hit in the barrels there. And now we're just gonna kind of let it eat. That is at a 1:10 dilution ratio, and it's already breaking down quite a bit. Now at this point, what I would do in my process is I typically just check, make sure everything is good. I'll take my synthetic brush here and see if there's anything that I missed. That's looking good here, that's looking good. Caliper's looking good as well. Now I'm gonna go ahead and rinse. Everything's looking great. So now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is hit it with Armor beads, just to add a quick layer of hydrophobics. So hit it right quick. Hitting in the barrels here, hitting on the caliper. Boom. And I kind of went a little overkill there, just showing it. Let that sit for just a second, and then I'm gonna go ahead and rinse. And that, my friends, is it. That is how I clean a wheel and tire. All right, and now we are on the next wheel and tire. To keep everything nice and fair, we're not gonna pre-rinse the wheel and tire here. We have brake buster here in the foam cannon, and that's all we're gonna be using for this wheel. Foam it down. And it puts on a crazy show just by itself here. Went a little too crazy with the brake buster, so I had to rinse a little bit of it off on the paint. So as you can see here, it is breaking down the contamination. Now the back wheel doesn't get as dirty as the front wheel, and that's why I chose it. Again, brake buster is a great wheel and tire cleaner for maintenance, if you will. It's not going to do as well as a dedicated wheel and tire cleaner that's meant for heavy duty. Alrighty, so first off, we're going to hit the tires again. Brake buster is my go-to just dedicated tire cleaner as well if I didn't have Armor Detail Supply tire cleaner. So that would be my go-to, and it was my go-to until ADS hit the market. All right, now we're gonna get the barrels again, same as the front. Not a lot of pressure, I'm just mainly wanting to get some of the dust. Perfect, that's good. Next up, the tri-grip. Hit the lug nuts here. Hitting the letters and the stickers here because I know those are more intricate. And then finally, the Rag Company wheel mitt, hitting the spokes, the spoke faces. Now it's looking good. Let's go ahead and give it a quick rinse. Everything looks good in here. Looks good, looks good. Let's move on to the next wheel. Alrighty, and moving on to number 3. This is what we're going to be using AWH on. So I used this front wheel for an example for AWH just to show its crazy cleaning power. So again, no pre-spray. Let's go ahead and get into it. Immediately you can see that it's already browning the tires down here, as well as it's pulling a lot of that brake dust out right down here. Like the 2 other wheels, we're going to go ahead and start with the tires. Give them a quick, nice scrub here. And not bad. Following that, we're going to hit it with the barrel brush here. Some of that contamination. And AWH is definitely putting a show on for us today. Now, synthetic tri-grip brush here. Right, and the embossed letters, nooks and crannies. Now if these weren't super delicate wheels, you could use the boar's hair brush. Personally, I like using the tri-grit brush because I get the same amount of scrubbing power and I know that it's not going to potentially scratch or mar the surface. The brake caliper here. And then finally, I'm going to hit it with the Rag Company wheel mitt. Get this little lip first. And move into the barrels. And then now I'll hit the spokes. I will say these new wheels are a lot easier to clean rather than my old ones. Perfect. And now they are nice and scrubbed. Let's go ahead and rinse. Alrighty, and we'll do our checks here. Everything is checking out great. We got all that contamination out of the letters. It's nice and clean to the touch. Tire looks good, and I'll move on to the next wheel. Okay, and this is the last wheel. We are going to be using the Armor Detail Supply wheel and tire cleaner just by itself. First off, we're going to be hitting it with just the tire cleaner, of course, on the tires. Perfect. It's just one pass or so. And then next we're going to go in with the wheel cleaner here. And we're letting that work. Of course, now let's go ahead and hit the tire with the tire brush. Putting on quite a bit of show here with the iron removing capabilities. Now let's go ahead and hit it with the barrel brush here. Sweet. Alright, so that is hit. Now that it is looking like a murder scene, let's go ahead and hit it here with the synthetic tri-grit brush. Wheel mitt by the Rag Company. The same exact thing. Hit this lip here first, followed by the second lip. And hit it with the rinse. Alrighty, this wheel is all clean. Now I'm going to show you how to properly apply tire dressing. I know it's super simple, but some people can screw it up. So this is how you properly apply tire dressing. The one common misconception about tire dressing is sometimes you don't even need to apply it. If your tires look good and you like how they look when they're dry, don't apply it. You don't need to. At that point, you're just wasting product. So the towel that I'm using today is the Twistress by the Rag Company. Now I use this specifically because it's a dark gray, so if I stain it from the tires or from brake dust, I'm not gonna feel bad. If I was using a bright green or a bright blue towel, that would not be ideal. But what I do is I fold it in about fours here. I hit the tire first and then the wheel. So here we go. And pretty much I'm getting the tire dry all in one step. I'm gonna go ahead and flip it here, and then I'm gonna get the wheel face and the wheel barrel. If your wheels are coated, you can use a blower and that will help quite a bit, but in this case I'm just gonna use a towel. If you're gonna put one of those spray sealants on for a little bit longer protection, you can do that now. But the tire is pretty dry to the touch and we're good there. Now I've got a tire dressing applicator right here. This one's nothing too crazy. This is a Suds Labs one, funny enough, that I found on clearance at Walmart. This does have quite a bit of tire dressing already on it, so I'm not gonna have to load my applicator. But if I did, I would just do a couple extra sprays. Now that I know my applicator is loaded, I'm gonna take my Tire Plus here, give it 1 or 2 sprays, and then I'm gonna hit the wheel face. What I typically like to do is I take my thumb, put it in between the lip of the wheel here, and slowly go back and forth and work the tire dressing in. It's okay if it hits right here on the tire tread. It's not going to do any damage. If you've got a ton there, then it may sling, so be wary of that. And that is it. That's how simple it is. Alrighty y'all, and that is it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy this in-depth guide on how to clean your tires. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to press the like button down below, subscribe down below if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.